We're breaking down the key moments and standout performances from the Cowboys' joint practice with the Rams. From Dak Prescott's sharp throws to Rico Dowdle's impressive moves and Mazi Smith's defensive prowess, we've got all the highlights and takeaways you need to know. Tune in for our expert analysis and see how these performances could impact the Cowboys season. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for the latest updates on Cowboys news and more. Hey there, Cowboys Nation! Welcome to Dallas Cowboys Fan, your ultimate destination for all things America's team. Whether you bleed blue and silver or are just starting to catch Cowboys fever, this is the place. If you are a die-hard fan, please make sure to subscribe for more latest news and updates of your favorite team. Before we jump into the specifics, let's set the stage for what we witnessed today. The Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Rams came together for a joint practice session, giving us a unique opportunity to see how our boys stack up against another NFL team. These joint practices are invaluable for both teams, as they provide a fresh look and new competition after weeks of practicing against familiar faces. The energy was electric from the moment both teams hit the field. You could feel the intensity in the air, as players on both sides were eager to prove themselves against unfamiliar opponents. It's one thing to shine against your teammates, but it's a whole different ballgame when you're going up against another NFL roster. Dak Prescott's stellar performance. Now, let's talk about the man of the hour, Dak Prescott. Cowboys fans, I've got to tell you, Dak came out swinging today. From the moment he stepped onto the field, you could see the fire in his eyes. He was laser-focused and ready to silence any doubters. Dak's accuracy was off the charts. He was threading needles all over the field, hitting receivers in stride and making it look effortless. What really impressed me was his decision-making. Dak was reading the Rams' defense like an open book, consistently making the right calls and adjustments at the line of scrimmage. One particular play stands out in my mind. Dak rolled out to his right, evaded pressure, and then threw a perfect strike to CeeDee Lamb in the back corner of the end zone. The ball was placed where only Lamb could get it, and it was a thing of beauty. But it wasn't just the flashy plays that caught my attention. Dak's command of the offense was evident in every snap. He was communicating effectively with his line, making pre-snap reads, and showing great chemistry with his receivers. This is the Dak Prescott we've been waiting to see, confident, accurate, and in complete control. Rico Dowdle's unexpected emergence. Now, here's a name that might surprise some of you, Rico Dowdle. If you haven't been paying attention to Dowdle, it's time to start. This young running back came to play today, and he turned some heads in the process. Dowdle showed exceptional burst through the line of scrimmage, consistently finding and hitting holes with authority. What really stood out was his ability to make defenders miss in the open field. He had a couple of runs where he made Rams defenders look silly, showcasing a combination of agility and power that we haven't seen from him before. But it wasn't just his running that impressed. Dowdle also showed some skills in the passing game, making a few nice catches out of the backfield and demonstrating solid pass protection when called upon. This versatility could be key in securing him a spot on the final roster. With Tony Pollard stepping into the lead back role this season, there's been a lot of speculation about who will be his primary backup. Based on what we saw today, Rico Dowdle is making a strong case for himself. He's showing that he can be a valuable asset in both the running and passing game, which is exactly what the Cowboys need in their backfield. Mazi Smith's dominating presence. All right, Cowboys fans, it's time to talk about our first-round pick, Mazi Smith. Let me tell you, this young man is the real deal. Smith was an absolute force in the middle of the defensive line today, and he gave the Rams' offensive line fits all practice long. What stood out immediately was Smith's raw power. He was consistently pushing his man back into the backfield, disrupting both run and pass plays. But it wasn't just brute strength. Smith showed impressive technique for a rookie, using his hands well to shed blockers and find his way to the ball carrier. There was one play in particular that had everyone talking. Smith burst through the line so quickly that he was in the backfield before the running back even had a chance to take the handoff. It resulted in a would-be tackle for loss that had the entire Cowboys sideline fired up. But perhaps even more impressive than his physical skills was Smith's mental approach to the game. He seemed to have a great understanding of his assignments and was rarely out of position. This combination of physical dominance and football IQ is exactly what the Cowboys were hoping for when they drafted him, and it's exciting to see it translating to the field so quickly. Defensive standouts. While Mazi Smith was certainly a highlight, he wasn't the only defensive player making waves today. The entire Cowboys defense seemed to be playing with an extra edge, perhaps fueled by the opportunity to test themselves against a different offense. Trayvon Diggs in particular had a strong showing. He was sticky in coverage all day, breaking up several passes and even coming away with an interception off Matthew Stafford. Diggs' ball skills were on full display, reminding everyone why he's considered one of the best playmaking corners in the league. Micah Parsons, unsurprisingly, was all over the field. The Rams seemed to have no answer for his combination of speed and power. Parsons was equally effective rushing the passer and dropping into coverage, showcasing the versatility that makes him such a nightmare for opposing offenses. In the secondary, Jaren Kearse made his presence felt with some big hits and tight coverage on the Rams' tight ends. His ability to play both in the box and deep gives the Cowboys' defense a lot of flexibility. Offensive line observations. The offensive line, a point of concern for many Cowboys fans, had an up and down day. There were moments of brilliance where they provided Dak with a clean pocket and opened up huge holes for the running game. However, there were also a few breakdowns that led to pressure on the quarterback. Tyler Smith, in particular, seemed to struggle at times against the Rams' pass rushers. He was beaten a couple of times on speed moves to the outside, something he'll need to work on as we approach the regular season. On the positive side, Zach Martin was his usual dominant self, consistently winning his one-on-one matchups and anchoring the line. Tyron Smith also looked healthy and strong, which is a great sign for the Cowboys' offense. The center position remains a bit of a question mark, with Tyler Biadasz and Matt Farniok both seeing reps with the first team. This is definitely a position battle to keep an eye on as we move closer to the season. Wide receiver battle. The wide receiver competition continues to heat up, and today's practice gave us some more clarity on where things stand. CeeDee Lamb, as expected, was Dak's go-to target, consistently getting open and making tough catches in traffic. Michael Gallup showed flashes of his pre-injury form, making a couple of nice grabs downfield. His chemistry with Dak seems to be improving, which is a great sign for the Cowboys' offense. The real battle is for the third receiver spot, and several players made their case today. Jalen Tolbert, last year's third-round pick, had a strong showing demonstrating improved route running and hands. He made a spectacular diving catch on a deep ball from Dak that had everyone talking. Kavontae Turpin also turned some heads with his speed and quickness. He was a nightmare for the Rams' defensive backs in one-on-one drills and showed his value as a returner during special teams periods. What do you think, Cowboys fans? Are you as excited as I am after seeing today's practice? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more Cowboys content.